technically, under federal law, you have to make a motion for newly discovered evidence within a maximum of 4 years. Okay.
Yeah.
But we're going to get to good news. So the good news is that there is something relatively new called the First Step Act, which allows for a compassionate release motion, which is a motion in which we're going to argue that it's an equitable thing to do for the for the court to order your release because you're not a danger to the community. And in order to prove that, we're going to use this recanted testimony. a roundabout way to argue newly discovered evidence. It's a newly discovered evidence motion by another name. Okay?
Yes.
The other thing I want to explore is your Liberian citizenship and diplomatic status. Have you ever applied for a treaty transfer to Liberia?
I already have, and it's been confirmed, a treaty transfer, but not to Liberia. I was born in Ghana.
You know the damage one ignorant Negro can do. There was a small enclave of peace in the village of Umdurman, the African continent, Sudan. It was June 26, 1945 AD, midnight to be exact. Far from the talk of war and false promises of peace, that a young woman by the name of Fatima Mariam, who was born in the city of Philadelphia, March 10, 1925 AD, gave birth to the son of a young Sudanese man, the grandson of the Mahdi Muhammad Ahmed, son of Abdullah. The young Fatima Mariam went into labor on June 25, 1945 AD, right before midnight. At exactly 12 o'clock a.m., midnight, she gave birth to a son, June 26, 1945 AD. No birth certificate was issued because this was not yet the law of Sudan. However, the records of birth were recorded in the Hall of Records. While she comforted her newborn, the light of peace glowed from his countenance and put the darkness to flight. The lights in the sky hovered over the sleeping village as nocturnal insects hummed happily. Just as the wise men came to visit the Messiah Jesus, peace and blessings be upon him, at his birth, so did the angelic beings come to see the boy born under the stars. Surely, this was the night our Savior was born.
So I went on back to Sudan, بلدي وأخذت شهاداتي بلدي, and got my birth certificate. Had to go back to the files and hunt it down. Because I was born in 1945 when they did everything by hand. There was no computers. I can't tell you what I had to go through the Hall of Records. But as an Ansar, the most recognized clan in Sudan, it made it easy. And when Sayyid Sadiq, the prime minister, standing beside me, it made it a little easier than it would have cost you. You follow? So I went and got the birth certificate and I printed a book and I said, here's my birth certificate in the book. Oh, he made that up. It got the seal of Sudan on it. He got the signature of the man who approved it. When I had to get, because you have to get a photostat copy, not giving you the original, they give you with a seal. Oh, he made that up.
Ghana stepped forward, because I have family there, and they petitioned to the government of Ghana about the prison transfer treaty and the 112 they call it. And Ghana stepped in on my behalf and dealt with the State Department here, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs here, as well as in Ghana, and it's already been confirmed that I got the documentation and everything.
Oh, great.
My prison transfer has been accepted. And
By Ghana.
now I'm just waiting for, I think they have a situation where they wait until there's a certain amount of applicants on the claim, I guess. But
Well, no, that's only if you're approved. So
it's already been approved.
Oh, wow.
The
And my transfer treaty has been approved.
okay.
the delay at this point, sir, is that like when Ghana is, the people from Ghana left, the ministry of Ghana left for Liberia last week. And they went to Liberia because they're telling Liberia, why haven't y'all repatriated Mr. York? We have all the documentation. The president of Liberia confirmed my diplomatic status and my naturalized citizenship. And that we have the letters and everything stamped and everything. So they went there to say, well, listen, we already have the prisoner transfer treaty, but we want to confirm that when Mr. York is moved in the motion, that he moves as a diplomat, so he does not end up in ICE in some cage in a prison somewhere.
Right.
Well, he is a diplomat. So all of that has been done already, and now we're just sitting here. I'm just sitting here waiting because last week, every week I get this phone call and these letters from different lawyers, like 4 lawyers working on that.
So,
in the States.
Have you been to court?
As well as in Africa. So it's already done. It's just a matter of now waiting for them to come collect me.
Have you been to court yet?
I beg your pardon?
Have you been to court yet as part of that process?
No, I don't. I didn't have to go to court for that. All of that was done by way of the. Let me look at this paper here.
Can you bring the phone over here?
I can't move it. It's
down to. I didn't anticipate this conversation, so give me a moment.
Oh, I apologize.
Because
I had no way of communicating with you to let you know that I was trying to get an attorney. It's not just myself, others. We wanted to know, the family. We haven't been hearing anything to find out what's going on with you, your health, your whole situation.
There's been a lot of updates. Like the attorney just mentioned, there's another attorney. His name is Mr. Roger Adler, and he was doing the same thing. He went back and investigated all of the inconsistencies in the trial. For instance, especially when it came to Mr. Jonathan Marks and Mrs. Biba Washington, when she had recanted and did a testimony, and that they were fearing that the time had run out, the statute had run out, and it did run out during that period of time, so they superseded with something new.
Right.
They looked back over that and found out that wasn't supposed to happen. So the only reason why we're not addressing it at this moment is because we already filed all the different forms, and we said, let's get Mr. York out of this country and back on his own soil, and then we will proceed to attack those violations. For instance, holding court on Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday, a federal violation.
He's getting bad advice because none of this is true.
Initially, the people had found a hung jury, and then the judge forced them after the final statement and the government rested, and they saw that they were going to have problems. They brought in, after they rested, they reopened and put somebody on the stand again, which was enough. So they got a list of violations that took place because it was, and then on top of that, on June the 3rd, when I was in court, when they spoke about the so-called plea agreement, and I made it very clear to the judge at that time, which was not Royals. I said, when he gave me the opportunity to speak, and I said, first and foremost, the Garland firm, the Garland firm is not even supposed to be here because I removed them. They're not supposed to be here. Second of all, I'm under VC, which they simply referred to as under duress. The judge asked me then, he said, what do you mean, Mr. York? I said, Your Honor, I was under duress. There's a file that I filed of torture that was backed up while they moved me from Atlanta down to Howard Richard Field's prison so they could torture me into so-called a plea, which I didn't know nothing about. I didn't know nothing about no plea agreement. I didn't sign no plea agreement. I was under, they said, well, they have your videotape. I said, look at the videotape, and you can see I wasn't there physically. I was under some kind of duress.
Did anybody force you or threaten you in any way to cause you to enter this guilty? Did anyone promise you anything to cause you to enter this guilty? Are you satisfied with the services of your attorneys, not only Mr. Aurora, but your other attorneys? Were you able to hear and understand my statements and questions to you? He's under oath. Let him enter his plea.
Your Honor, we've gone up this withdrawal of not guilty plea and your guilty plea, and comes down to both the defendant both trial case, withdraws his plea not guilty in this case, equates to constitutional rights, pleads guilty as charged with offenses of. I've already enumerated those on the record. They're the same ones I've enumerated on before, Your Honor. I signed on behalf of the state. Baskin signed on behalf of the state.
Clear, Your Honor? Malachi Z. York, I find you plead guilty was freely, voluntarily, and knowing manner. There was a factual basis for your plea. I accept your plea.
Dr. York, I mean, rather than the two of you kind of rehashing all of the same parade of terribles that has happened, I think let's focus on things that are going to work, because whoever's advising you on the fact that, first of all, that your treaty transfer has been approved if you have not been to court, that's not true. There's what's called an acceptance hearing.
Excuse me, sir. With all due respect, I have the documentation with the government seal on it, and it has been approved. And the moment we hang up, I have 2 more calls with them, because I just today the telephone call. So what you need, which would be best to do, would be to contact the attorneys.
Okay.
And like Mr. Tucker's office, because I'm going to be speaking today, tomorrow.
Okay.
And I'll be speaking to Hotep's attorney after I speak to you in Africa. So all of this, I have spoken to them. I'm looking at the document right here where the Bureau of Prison here.
Perfect.
And the warden here has received a direct from the U.S. from the Ministry of Counsel, Mr. Joseph Nimwabe, right, of Washington D.C. From the
Yay!
They already. I'm looking at the stuff. It's already done.
Well, that's excellent. If it's approved here, I'm just telling you, because sometimes Ghana, if the process was started in Ghana, the Ghana officials can approve it, and not the U.S. officials. But the judge also has to approve it in what's called an acceptance hearing.
The U.S. because of the diplomatic status, the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, Article 36, they made it clear today, America, the receiving state, has no authority. So the judge wouldn't have any right or authority over me because of jurisdictional laws. That was ignored during the trial. The most important point that would be feasible would be if we were to say discovery of new evidence would be that during his trial, Mr. York repeatedly told them he's under duress and that he's a secure party, that he is a foreign diplomat, and they ignored it. They stole his diplomatic passport and his diplomatic paperwork at the arrest.
And how was that newly discovered?
And we retrieved them once the men finished. Once Mr. Taylor, because I worked with Mr. Taylor, Charles Taylor appointed me. And Mr. Taylor got arrested after me, and all the documentation was removed from Liberia to Sierra Leone, and from Sierra Leone to London, where his trial took place. And I had to wait until 2014 to get all the confirmation that, yes, Mr. York took an oath of allegiance to Liberia, thus would have lost his citizenship in America just by taking an oath of allegiance to a foreign government and or taking a job as a consular general, full consular general, not an honorary, and I had a passport and everything. born in Boston, and Ghana presented this is his birth certificate, this is his family line, this is his bloodline. So y'all are holding, but that's the argument that the sheriff in Putnam County was so obsessed with taking the land and toppling us that he just violated every law, and now it's coming home to roost.
Ooh.
So where's that way for me to excuse me for taking control for the phone, but at this point it would be best if y'all would kind of speak with Mr. Tucker's office, and they will put you in contact with the.
Well, first of all, let me see. I mean, I called you not realizing that you had present legal counsel. So.
Yeah, I have like 5 different attorneys.
Okay, all right. So I guess at this point, unless you want to speak to me, I can't speak to you if you've got 5 different lawyers. So.
Well, you can speak to the other attorneys, and they can.
Yeah, you can.
You update, and then some of the ideas that you have that might be feasible could probably help.
Right, and then you can figure out, like, because if you're saying
that's not going to work. That's
right,
5 attorneys won't agree on lunch, let alone how to do this strategy with the case. So.
Right, but you just said that you disagreed with him not going to court. So maybe perhaps the attorneys can,
because they're misleading him, because they're lying to him, because they're misleading him, because they're lying to him. I don't believe. I've done treaty transfer cases. I know how the process works.
Let me say this. Okay, the lawyer is
Tucker.
Right? That's a lawyer in America. But the lawyers in Africa. If I start pronouncing their name, we'll give you all day.
No. Who are the lawyers in America?
Yes. Okay. You have Mr. Tucker.
Charles Tucker.
Charles Tucker.
You know Imhotep. Victoria Gracio. What's the other one?
Who is Imhotep?
Oh, you remember Mr. Bundy?
Oh, Mr. Bundy. Okay.
What's his full name?
Well, Mr. Bundy hired another attorney who got on it, but they're dealing with the subject that y'all were dealing with the compassionate release and all that, pertaining to my age, my health, and different things. So they went back in and contacted Mr. Jonathan Marks, who was representing me, doing a retirement of Habib Washington and showing them all these errors. They said, oh man, this is brought back. Because the statute didn't run out on that. But violation to the judicial protection. Because royalty was brought up.
I just want to get closer to the phone.
I'm more concerned with the fact that what they call it, the transfer has already been confirmed. And I just want to be like on my own soil and fight my battle from there.
Right. So, is there a way that we can get a copy so that we can review the documents that you have?
I don't know if the lawyers will give you a copy until they come. Because I would think that you would already know these. You should have been told about these a while back.
Right, I heard of.
But there is no compassionate release motion pending. There isn't one.
I can't hear you.
There is no compassionate release motion pending.
Well, if you contact Mrs. Victoria Braulio.
No, but I don't have to contact a lawyer to find out what's been filed in federal court. I look at the docket. I'm looking at your docket right now that was just printed this morning. There is no compassionate release motion.
We were talking about going back and forth about this audio that had leaked, and I definitely I'm clear where I stood with the audio, that it definitely should not have been leaked. And the people that were spreading it around, I was literally trying to track it down and stop it. So again, like I was setting up, dealing with the fact that I definitely disagreed with the idea of this audio with the master. Let me explain why. Because of the sensitivity of what was going on and what this means. And Baba is literally saying, I don't want this. This shouldn't be out. Because he asked us, basically, we're supposed to be protecting him. He's asking us to don't do this because this is going to hurt me in this way. How can you logically, reasonably explain yourself with putting that audio out like it's okay, even after that. After hearing it, we're talking about you and your reasoning.
No, we're talking about.
So what I'm asking you is
that pertains to everybody.
What I'm asking you.
Why
so is your reasoning? So you're not doing it because he's not doing it?
No, I'm on something totally different than him. My point is that wasn't he addressed?
Hold on, no. Listen,
his video's been up over here at the same time, and then
no, check it though.
Listen,
no.
And then he took snippets of the call that I put up and put it up on his own channel.
Oh, which one? With the new one?
Now,
the new one?
Radio.
Hold up, the new one? He took snippets of the new one and put it up?
And they're up on his channel now. So when are the brothers, the sisters,
so what
the
you're
administration
saying is,
gonna deal with Mario about
so what you're saying is
step to me.
So what you're saying is that both of y'all have been disrespecting the master and disregarding what the master is asking.
No, that's not what I'm
saying. That's not
what I'm saying. No, you're assuming and putting words in my mouth.
No,
because tell you what I'm saying. Because first of all, I don't agree with your statement of blatant disrespect. First of all, I just let you just explain yourself. I get that, but my point is that why ain't y'all going after Mario like y'all putting the full court press on me?
Okay, let me explain. Can I explain that? I explain that? The concept? Because this is a new audio, right? This is a new audio specifically we're at the finish line of a 20-year process.
How do you know that?
Listen, did you hear? Because I heard audios that you haven't heard. Can I tell you that?
Yes.
I've heard audios that you haven't heard. Even this audio, I've been heard this audio. But it's just that it wasn't supposed to be.
I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I've been heard this audio and I'm like, okay, this is beautiful. But we have to hold it sacred because this is leverage. Yeah, absolutely. Because knowledge is power.
So you mean to tell? Yes, I only had it up.
No, that's you. But again, it's not about
who else.
That's you. But it was out. That's what I was saying to you before when you was talking about the sister. Because I'm saying, okay, the sister didn't even give you the audio.
So wait a minute.
She didn't give you the audio, right?
That's right. So here's the point.
But ultimately,
who leaked it?
She did, ultimately.
Wrong.
No, it's not wrong.
Wrong.
Hold up.
Why would you do that?
Check this out. This is why we have to play on our reasoning.
Circles, God.
Nah. Let's deal with nine-mind reasoning.
We are.
Okay. Are we dealing with nine-mind reasoning?
Yes. Listen, you're not making sense.
Listen, how am I not making sense? Let's start from the beginning. Let's start from the beginning. Let's start from the point of how did this stuff get leaked in the first place?
Okay, let's go there.
Who's in the office on the call? The sister and the attorney. Is that true?
Well, how did Mr. Bundy get the call?
I don't know nothing about Mr. Bundy. All I know is she wasn't in the. Mr. Bundy wasn't in the room,
but he had it.
So who leaked it to him?
I have no idea.
There was only two people in the room, right?
Right.
Okay, so we're dealing with the process of reasoning,
when it means by leaked, right? Do you mean leaked on the internet or just given to certain people to listen?
I'm saying leaked, period. Until the sister had to give it to somebody in order for it to go around.
Right. So if she don't share information, which is what people seem to be whining about because they whining about her not sharing a certain document. We won't go there right now. So if you don't share information, how does word get out to the family?
Listen, it's not about not sharing information. It's about sharing information with people that can hold water. Again,
and people who want to contain power and control. Because of this audio. Well, I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Now I said because of this audio. See, the purpose of the audio being put out was for Mr. Bundy, because he was going on ranting on his Facebook page, right? I'm glad they took the battery out his back because they was about to get the sword. I was cutting him up and he was really about to get it. But anyway, they put the battery in his back because they wanted to tell Tabajet. Baba said for you to humbly work with the different attorneys, or he suggested, because that's on the order. But what people are finding out is that now that they got the whole audio, that they hear that A, Baba's being lied to. B, more people are lying about certain documents, right? They getting the full story now. So the only ones who got something to fear is the people who are being exposed.
Nobody's being exposed, beloved. Right now,
they are being exposed on that audio.
You're exposing yourself for not caring about what Baba wanted.
How do you know?
Because you listen. Why did you put that video out? Why did you put the
opinion?
Why did you put the audio out?
Expose black devils, and they're being exposed.
How are they being exposed? First of all, you said.
Oh, so wait a minute. Hold on. They lied to him about the prison feeding transfer. That's number one.
Where do you get that from?
That's on the audio with the lawyer explaining it to him.
Yes, it is. That's the lawyer saying that.
That's right, and that's
so you agree with the Mukasu. So you of the mind state of the Mukasu.
Oh, now I'm of the mind state of the Mukasu.
No, because that's the lawyer who said that.
People are around
the lawyer said that, and what Baba said. What Baba said in response.
See, you part of them. What
Baba said. What did Baba say?
Baba said,
what did he say on the response? He responded to the lawyer. What did he say?
You tell it.
He said, sir, I beg your pardon. That's not true. I have the documents. That's what he said.
Now, the documents are what have been forged.
You mixing up two different things. That's a different document.
It's fake. Those documents.
That's a different document.
So here's the question.
That's a different document.
If the treaty transfer was in place,
hold up,
right? Why hasn't he been moved yet?
Don't move too fast. It's a process. It's a process.
20 years is a process?
No, we talk about right now because you know it took 14 years for him to even get his documentation. So don't start that. Okay? Don't start that. Because it took 14 years to confirm his documentation. That's a fact.
There are people, and they also lied to him. The State Department lied to him when Mallory, Secretary Nippy, and Fatima York, right?
Okay, that's the forgery. That's the fake document. The other stuff is not what he said.
And tell me it's been
hold up. But you mix it. How about the fact that you mixing two different things? What about that fact? Because you said they lying about the transfer, right?
Yeah, because he's
Baba said I got the document.
That's what the lawyer said.
But the lawyer asshole.
Did he go to time out? Did he go to an acceptance hearing?
Listen,
did he go?
What did Baba
acceptance hearing about the transfer? Yes or no?
Again, you're speaking for the lawyer.
No,
that's the lawyer's position.
Well, I am, but I'm not.
But you're speaking from the lawyer's position. You're repeating what the lawyer said.
Question. Now I'm speaking from the lawyer's position.
And I'm responding how Baba said.
Why don't you admit, hey, brother, I don't know?
I'm responding how Baba responded to him. Baba said, I have the documentation. I have 2 more calls. Hold up. I have 2 more calls with the government after y'all.
And what did he tell them to do? He said, if you want the proof, get with Attorney Tucker, right? Get with them, and they should show you. And so far, Attorney Tucker has not gotten back to show them the proof.
But you jumping, God. Okay, you said it's so far, right? You said it's so far. Did they go to Attorney Tucker and ask for it?
To my knowledge, I don't know.
So how do you say that he didn't provide it? But you see, the problem is.
So did he provide it willingly?
The problem is that Baba
did he provide it willingly? Yes or no?
Baba told them to go to request it. So Tabby Jet and her lawyer had to go to them. They wasn't supposed to be volunteering anything to them.
Not if they're supposed to be working together.
It's on Tabby Jet humbling herself and going to them.
Why do you have to humble yourself to somebody?
Because you want to be part of
humbly offer it?
Because you're trying to come and be a part of what they're doing. That's right.
Oh, so therefore, she's not really.
Did Baba tell her to do that?
I'm going with what you said.
Did Baba tell her?
Listen, she's not trying to be a part of what they're doing. She's working on something totally different.
She could go off, okay? But she asked,
right? So all this work together, Jazz.
But then she asked Baba. She asked Baba, and he told her what to do if she wanted to do that.
He didn't tell her what to do. He made a
suggestion of what to do.
Telling somebody what to do.
He's saying said to her,
suggestion, sir.
Okay.
The word suggestion.
Please, no sirs. Please, no sirs.
Oh, my fault.
Please.
A suggestion is not telling anybody what to do.
He's suggesting. He's giving her guidance right? Suggesting that if you want to do this, this is what I suggest you do.
So that means just if I needed some herbs from you, and I didn't have no money, let's say, I would have to humbly ask you. I couldn't come on your set talking crazy to you. Yo, man, give me these fucking herbs. That I have to say, look, bro, I'm a little short right now. That's humbly coming to you for something that I need.
Whatever, like it's about humbling yourself, because your ego would tell you, I don't have to be part of none of that stuff. But she's asking to be a part of it. Now I don't want to talk about this. No, we had a conversation behind the scenes. And I don't want to. It's not about her.
What they're doing. She's already a part of the legal team.
No, she's by her part. She's a part of the legal, isolated by herself, because she don't want to work with nobody.
Well, you haven't been what she been through.
Okay, this is not about her, bro. This is about you. This is about you sharing the unauthorized audio of the master, even after hearing that he didn't want it up there. That's what this is about, right?
Says who?
Says Baba.
So now, Mario shared unauthorized documents.
He shouldn't be having it up there neither. That's a fact.
Okay, so now that's my point.
So
now hear me out. His has been up there for over a year, and none of these brothers in the administration had the balls to make him take it down. And he said, fuck all y'all.